Alright, so what is going on, guys? Today's episode we're going to be talking about the RSX and kind of like where it all started and kind of go from there, you know, get you guys some background into what I'm doing. But first things first, gotta get gas, and also gotta go check on Henry because Henry ended up breaking a bolt in the slide on his brakes. So yeah, so stay tuned for that. We're gonna go check that out and let's see how the evening after work takes us. Alright guys, we're back in the garage. We got everybody here. Got Mitch over here. What's going on? Henry walking up. So we were supposed to go see Henry earlier, but he ended up fixing the issue that he had, and he ended up putting the saddle bolt, or the caliper bolt that goes into the saddle, the slide. He ended up breaking it in the slide. So he ended up getting that fixed, bought a new set of slides.
I'm a maintenance technician.
Be completely certified. Alright, so like I said, we're gonna go over the Rex today, kind of like a new beginning. So I bought the car not too long ago, like 6 to 8 months ago, something like that. 6 months. That's what I'm thinking. And I bought it for a deal. It was wrecked, but the guy had fixed it most of the way and got it back on the road before he traded it in. Cause I guess it went to auction and whatnot. Cause I seen a bunch of auction stickers and stuff all over it. But I ended up picking it up for a hell of a deal. High mileage, but
It's a Honda.
It's a Honda. It'll live. So we're gonna go over it, but there's some issues you got to kind of go over. And when you buy one, you got to know something. When you buy this thing, it's always going to be broken. 100%. It's going to be broken. There's never a time that this thing wasn't on jack stands. Like I take it out for a weekend, I break it. Take it out for a weekend, I break it. But we are gonna go over kind of some stuff that's going on with it. Really, honestly, the biggest issue is suspension. Like this car, the suspension design and everything in this thing was just, what were you thinking, Honda? Like, come on now, what were you thinking? You guys like my eBay intake? It's phenomenal. I made it with like $10 worth of parts. It's awesome. A couple of heater hoses, but besides the point. So one of the biggest issues you're gonna run into this car is tie rods and power steering rack. Everything power steering.
Tie rods and tie rods.
Yeah, everything power steering related to this car. So I guess from what I heard and what I learned is this car is designed from the Honda Odyssey. Like the power steering rack came out of the Odyssey, it went to the EP3. This car, the EM2, which is the 02 to 05 Civic or 01 to 05 Civic. But those cars have this high placed rack that McPherson strut connects to the coilover. It's junk. But, oh perfect, we got some light. So, when you come down in here, you kind of see, the rack's up a lot higher than most cars. Most cars is down on the subframe, goes out, hits the knuckle. But this hits the coilover. And a lot of the times, you know, when you, in stock form, it does pretty good. You know what I mean? In stock form, it's not, you start lowering it, that's when you start running into issues. So, you get the whole problem with it, where like, if you think about it, stock, the tie rods are like this, they poof the strut over and over. You lower it, now the tie rods are like this. And it's putting so much unnecessary wear and tear on the rack. You get rack seal leaks, a bunch of those tie rods go out quick. You're gonna get a lot of bump steer issues, eat through tie rods. Forget about it. Like it's just, so I bought a new set of tie rods I'm gonna put in, but I'm gonna go see, and if anybody knows of anybody that makes anything custom coilover wise to see if I can invert the tie rod, because I know you can't just do it, the hole's tapered. You can't just invert the tie rod, it doesn't work like that, you're gonna destroy it. But if there's anybody that can do that kind of thing, please let me know, because I guess this is something that's been at my mind. I don't like driving it. I mean, I'm probably gonna insert a death wobble video of a Jeep doing it. That's what it did to me. 60 mile an hour, fuck, throwing me all over the road and all that kind of junk. So, don't want that.
That's Mitch's Jeep, right?
Yeah,
No.
Mitch's Jeep.
No,
you know?
my Jeep don't have a death wobble. What you talking about? I fixed that.
But
New
under,
stretch.
you know, inside the car, you know, I bought it with full interior. The only thing wrong with it was the seats were ripped and it has no airbags.
You can't see in there, B.
Car was wrecked. But, oh my God, you drive close to the steering wheel.
My bad. It's not my fault you have a stiff clutch.
But I mean, I put some, you know, I put another shift knob in it. You know, I'm gonna get new seats and stuff for it. Other things like that. I mean, it's a horrible thing. It's trim on the RSX, seats, all that stuff, like S2000 too. Like all that stuff doesn't last long for some reason. I don't know what they designed it with. Really, I mean, it doesn't really matter because I mean, you're gonna go with aftermarket seats anyway, unless you're like an OE freak. I mean, you put the OE seats back in it and do all that kind of stuff with it. But I mean, for me, the whole overall goal of the car is just like a street legal race car kind of thing. I don't want like this huge, enormous amount of power. I just want something that's kind of like rattle, bare bones, something just hit on the streets with and do. So, I mean, so far, it's kind of given it to me. This thing is honestly really quick for what it did coming out of the factory. I mean, a lot of the stuff like Focus STs, those new STs and stuff like that, you know, I keep up with them right there. Ego Boost Mustangs, keep up with them right there. And I mean, for cars from 2006 with nothing really done to it, and all it has is intake and exhaust. I mean, it's, for Acura, that's awesome. Like, you can come out of the factory with something like that, 210 crank. It doesn't seem like much, but with a light frame, it really does it. But, if we go over to the trunk, kind of got stuff going on in the trunk. So, I mean, really, other than that, I did coilovers.
Our apologies for the trash ass lighting. We're doing this like right after work, so you know the deal. Gotta work on a budget.
Always on a budget. But, I mean, it's kind of full gutted. I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna cut out this whole wheel well. I want to cut it all out and just put a base plate, make it flat, get rid of the rest of the sound deadening foam in it, kind of clean everything up, paint it.
Why don't you get on in there, Nate?
Well, you even get on in there.
Go ahead, get on in there.
Just crawl in
so people know that we can hide a body in there if need be.
Body in this hole.
There you go.
Can't go anywhere without a Honda with spare oil laying around. But I mean, I want to tuck the wiring and stuff up in here too. There's a lot of things I want to do to this car, but it's honestly like the biggest things with these things, like. Oh Jesus!
Honda life.
But God, that kind of hurt.
Don't break it now.
Don't buy cheap. Don't buy cheap coilovers. Don't buy cheap anything because you're just gonna end up replacing it later. These were $200 eBay coilovers, and I'm paying for it later. My daily, I put a bunch of cheap stuff in it and ended up breaking it already within 20,000 miles. So all that stuff's been replaced with God knows how many brand new parts from Napa and all that shit. But, I mean, overall as a whole, I mean, I could be happier, really. I mean, this car's a great car. You just got to put the work in it and get it where it needs to be because I mean, it's not like you went out and bought a new car. But, you guys have anything to say about it? Other than that's a slow car and it's...
Don't buy Harbor Freight jack stands.
Yeah, Harbor Freight jack stands is another.
Hey, I have Harbor Freight jack stands. They worked perfectly today to mess up a Corolla.
I wish I was there. I wish I wasn't at work and I was there. That would have been phenomenal.
It wasn't that bad.
Oh, I would have seen his face.
I only panicked for about 2 seconds when that righty-tighty turned into a lefty-loosey, so don't judge me.
Should have get home with an impact.
I tried that too.
That's probably why it broke.
Hey,
Try that after the fact. I even put some Loctite on it, but no one needs to know I did that. I was like, maybe if I just put a little bit of Loctite, it'll stay in place and I won't have to fix this, but whatever.
Oh, what kind of Loctite did you put on it?
Don't ask.
I'm gonna call the trunk.
Nathan knows all about breaking bolts with the Ugga Duggas.
Could have been Loctite, could have been duct tape.
Yeah, so for most of you that don't know, Trident FD, Carlos, and his Infiniti D35 03. That car is a really cool car. I went to go put a transmission, put a bunch of stuff in it, clutch, flywheel, pressure plate, all that stuff. And your boy over here ended up breaking a bolt into the friggin' crank from the flywheel. And it was what, 2-3 days of drilling? 3 good days of drilling and tapping, and it ended up, okay, so it's safe, but it ended up getting a with red Loctite. And
Now, what's your definition of safe?
Safe is it'll go in there and it won't fall apart, but when you go to replace it again, it's gonna need a bottom end of a motor. It's gonna need a crank. So, I mean, there's really nothing you could do though. Once the bolt broke, I mean, it was so destroyed.
So you gave him that mechanic special.
Oh, 100%, but he knows. He was there the whole time.
That Brazil tire special.
Brazil tire special? No. No. I'm a good shop. I got a good shop.
Okay.
So there's shop feud going on too. So.
Look at that skyline in this image. Like, this shit looks good on camera.
Does it really?
Yeah, look at that. Look at the blues and the skies and the slowness. It's great.
That's Florida for you. until like give it till about 11 p.m. It's gonna start raining. And it's gonna stop raining. It's gonna start raining.
Give it 10 minutes and start raining.
Yeah.
15 minutes will be good. 30 minutes and there'll be a damn hurricane.
I know a lot of you Floridians know the struggle. You'll be washing your car in the middle of just washing your car, and you'll it'll start raining in the middle.
Bright and sunny outside, and then your car's all wet.
That's good luck.
It's
But-
good luck.
That's the car meet special right there.
The car meet special.
Man,
But
for real.
for those of you that don't know, this weekend is Rides and Coffee at Detail Garage in Tampa. It's like something East Fowler Avenue. It's on Fowler in Tampa.
Let me tell people where we're going.
Okay, besides the point. So
They're gonna come
it's
try
on
to
Fowler.
steal your car.
Detail Garage makes a lot of awesome stuff. I use a lot of their stuff, and on my Instagram there's a lot of stuff too that I've showed with their product and used with their product. And I mean, a lot of the chemical guy stuff, man, stuff hits. But I'm gonna show you guys, get another vlog out hopefully sometime this weekend of us going there, seeing all the cool cars. Probably gonna be a lot of exotics and stuff like that. So that'd be kind of nice to see. A little turn to our first video where we're kind of out being hoonigans and messing around. But other than that, yeah, that's kind of it. So, like, comment, subscribe, do your thing. Other than that, see you guys on the next one.
Okay guys, if you're wondering what our unofficial sponsor of the day is today, it is going to be Bud Light, the beer of Nate. Nate being the guy you've been talking to the entire time, or who's been talking to you this entire time. Our coupons and sponsor codes will be down in the bottom. Don't hold me to that because none of it will work. Thanks.
I like the little plug on the Bud Light there.
Yeah, right?
Sponsors welcome.